Yeah, it's a very disappointing season. I think everyone feels that. It's yeah, we didn't give ourselves a good chance, and yeah, we're all unhappy with it. But yeah, we're still reflecting. We're sorting things out, and yeah, we're thinking about it. We got to find a way to be better, and it's yeah, it is what it is.
You guys entered the bubble in Edmonton as the top team in the West, in the standings, and it just doesn't seem like the team's been the same since then. I mean, just any thoughts on that? Was it maybe just tough for this team to deal with the COVID stuff, other factors? Just what do you?
Yeah, there's tons of things I think that go into it. There's so many different variables, but yeah, we aren't the team that we want to be. We didn't, we weren't consistent and building something. We had these little spurts, and then that was it. It wasn't enough. Yeah, we just didn't. Yeah, we didn't grow our game and build our team game like we need to, and like it's been in the past with what guys have done here. So it's, that's the main issue we're searching for, and again, it starts with myself, and this time's about reflection and finding a way to go through it, and again, it starts with myself. I have to be better and get better and do things differently to build it, and other guys as well. So it's yeah, this is where we sort it out. Take this time to rest and get the hunger back and go from there.
Ryan, you guys, when you won the Cup 2 years ago, you knew who you were and you knew what you were about. And even so, before COVID, you guys knew what kind of an identity you had. Why do you feel like it was tough to find that identity with this particular group? And I understand the personnel has changed, but a lot of the same pieces are still here. Why do you feel like that identity was tough to find?
It's a good question, and it's something that I don't think I can give a really direct answer to it. It's something I think we're all kind of looking for. How do we get that back, and how do we find it? It's not easy to get that. We won. I felt it was something. It was built. It wasn't just for years and years the way it was competed, and then finally you get bounces and you find a way to win it, and here I think it starts with, yeah, like I kind of said before, but building it, and then competing and getting that back to that team mentality that eventually gives yourself a chance to win and compete against those top teams. So it's there's not, I think, anything specific and direct I can give you, but yeah, it's it's building it and learning how to find that competitive edge, and building our whole team around that.
And along those lines, how do you blend together and win with a style that's been successful, winning a cup, but maybe newer, younger players come along and maybe they don't play that type of system? How do you incorporate their attributes and make them part of the group?
Well, I think it's you have the right things in place in the structure. It's still it's everyone buying into one way and doing it the right way, and being disciplined within that. Yeah, you have different styles of players, and it is a different team than it was a couple years ago, but there's still that discipline within the structure and a certain edge mentally that you have to have in order to be successful. So it's finding a way. It's different, it's challenging, but yeah, it's building around that feeling and that kind of respect for each other and competing for each other, and the game grows from there, and then I think the identity comes naturally, if that makes sense.
Ryan, whenever a team wins in sports, other teams are going to take a look at that team and say, hey, how do we beat them? And I just want to find out what sense you get from playing against Colorado a couple of years ago as to now. Do you feel like teams are building their teams to combat what you guys were in 2019, a little bit more sandpaper, a little bit more grit, a little bit more heavy?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it's no secret. You can watch playoffs, you see that grit and that heaviness that we kind of try to pride ourselves on. You see in playoffs that you have to have that, and you don't stand a chance if you don't have it. And even last year, you see Tampa, the way they played, and how they're structured, and the heaviness that they had throughout their lineup, and again, these teams, yeah, it's huge, to win this league, you have to have that, and it's got to be a staple. And that's something that we didn't have enough of and weren't consistent enough with.
Brian, from kind of the outside looking in, if you look at maybe one thing that seemed like it was missing or not consistently there, was the forechecking, that just the consistent, and not talking about you, but the consistent hounding of the puck. And it seems like that takes a lot of work. Was that not quite there? I mean, do you agree with that, or what?
No, I do agree with that. That is a staple, and it's hard work. And yeah, we didn't have enough of that, I think, of that relentless forecheck that can be so effective and coming wave after wave. That's something that usually we have and gives us a chance to win a lot of hockey games and compete with all these teams. And yeah, it wasn't consistent enough.
Ryan, when you take Bouwmeester, Steen, and Pietrangelo out of the lineup, is that just a tough transition, especially defensively, for a team to make?
Yeah, for sure. It's all three of those guys. You don't replace them, but also too they're the guys that built this. Were a huge part in building this organization and this culture, and you have to be able to take that, and all of us grow and play like those guys and take what they've done. So it's again, you don't replace them, but it's something that you use the way they played and let it build something from that.
Ryan, do you feel like that, there's obvious with this, it's a 4-game sweep. There was a difference between you and some of the upper echelon teams in the standings this year. And you have no control, obviously, over what management will do. Do you feel like that gap can be closed fairly quickly here?
Oh, yeah. It's, this organization, I think, does a fantastic job of, getting pieces and competing and doing what they need to do in order to win. And, for myself, I have to focus on obviously being the leader and helping, doing what I can do to contribute to that. But we've got some unbelievable pieces here. And yeah, we're close. It's there. It's not a huge thing and big adjustments. We're close, and it's it's myself and everyone, finding a way to grow their game, to find a way to grow and find a new way to adapt and win. So it's we're definitely close though.
Ryan, one of those differences, especially in the Colorado series, the Habs just seem willing to go to the front of the net, park there, deflections. Do you guys have that on that roster? It just seemed like a lot of times this year people talked about doing it. It never happened. Like, how can you get to that level where you got enough guys willing to participate there?
Yeah, it's it's a big thing. A lot of those goals they scored, just the traffic and their speed getting to the net. For myself, I know being out there for a lot of goals against, it was, you're trying to be aggressive defensively. Next, it's back to the point, and they're at the net, and it's tough. It's, it's something we definitely need more of, and it's being disciplined and doing the right things at the right time, and that, if you want to win in this league, especially in playoffs, you have to be able to do that and get to those hard areas.